Shocking new figures have revealed sending migrants to Rwanda will cost the taxpayer a staggering £169,000 per ticket. Under the scheme, illegal migrants will be sent to the African country if they try to cross the channel in small boats. But the Home Office stats also show the plan will save Britain more than £100,000 in pricey hotel fees per person deterred from making the crossing. This means that for the scheme to break even, it would need to deter around 37% of those arriving in small boats. Now, the UK has already paid Rwanda £140 million, despite not sending a single migrant there, prompting critics to call the scheme a waste of money. For the plan to even go ahead, it still needs the green light from senior judges, with a decision expected in the coming days. This is a really complicated one. So they're saying it's 169,000 or thereabouts if we send them to Rwanda, but if you keep them here, it's 100,000.
Right.
But the whole point of the Rwanda scheme is that it's part of a portfolio of policies, isn't it? The idea is it's meant to be a deterrent. Now, when you actually work that out, if we've spent I did this maths earlier today, £140 million already, and then you divide it by 169,000, that works out at roughly 1,000 people, which is what I think Rwanda will accommodate. So I'm not entirely sure these figures are that aberrant, but the point is actually what we need to do is get the illegal migration through the bill through the House of Lords. It's on its final reading. And I think it will be blocked by the House of Lords.
Do you know what?
But this is the petard the government will be hoisted on.
You mentioned the money they've given to Rwanda. There's also the money they've given to the French as well. I worked it out, by the way.
Half a billion quid.
Half a billion quid.
Wow.
I also did a bit of a calculation. I worked it out that for £169,000, I could take me and my family on first-class trips to Rwanda and stay there for 20 years in quite nice accommodation.
Yeah,
so this is the kind of...
But I think you're here legally.
This is the sort of nonsense we're dealing with here. What has happened here is Suella Bright... Look, she's not the full architect of this policy. This policy's been around. Other countries have thought about it. I think Turkey had a dalliance with it, etc.
Germany wants it.
Germany, yeah, there's talk
Policy
there.
came in under Boris Johnson before she was there.
But what she wanted was the headlines, because it sounds like she's being tough. It sounds like it's not just a solution, but a bit of a punishment as well. And actually, it was always going to be a futile effort on her part. She's not the brightest of politicians. She's good at playing to the gallery. She just hasn't quite worked. What she's done now is locked herself into her own irreversible policy, because this is going down in law. So she can't do anything about it. So it doesn't matter how much of a waste of money this might be. Concentrate, if you want to stop this, concentrate on people traffickers, concentrate at the other end, get drones up there, get boats, stop these poor people having to come across the channel in the first place. Stop it at that level. So between Rwanda and France and the UK and multi-billions of pounds worth, and by the way, if we sent every migrant this year to Rwanda on those figures, it would cost £1.9 billion so far this year.
But they can't accommodate
figure
that,
I
can
worked
they?
out. They can't accommodate that anyway. It's an absolute nonsense.
Who's calculating? Who's issuing these numbers?
That's a good
Who worked
point.
it out? It's the Home Office.
Yes.
The Home Office want to say, this is impossibly expensive. Let's get rid of the whole scheme.
They want to say,
this
come
is a
here.
Conspiracy to kibosh the Rwanda scheme. It's as simple as that. It will not cost £169,000.
But it can never work anyway, the Rwanda.
Exactly.
Why not?
Why not?
Because, firstly, there's not enough accommodation there, and secondly...
Well, what do you mean, not enough?
No, but
it's just not enough.
No.
Rwanda,
What do you mean?
Rwanda
Nobody's saying that every migrant's going to go to Rwanda. If we start sending hundreds, they all get the message that they might end up in Rwanda.
That's the
point.
40%, nearly 40% have got to get that message, and I don't believe that is a
But the
chance.
minute you see this processing, and then you put people in Rwanda, and then you also pass the illegal migration bill, maybe, just maybe, the message gets through.
It's worth a try, Ian.
Thank you. The problem is, and I strangely agree with Ian, this plan is
not that
doomed
strange.
I think it is.
Very healthy disposition.
From start to finish. It's just not going to work because, number one, it's not deterring people from coming here, so it's not working on that level. Rwanda can't accommodate all these people, but even the threat of it should be a deterrent, and it's not.
Because they know it won't be enacted.
What we need to do is, like Ian said, we need to stop people getting in those boats in the first place, and that is dealing with the people traffickers. That is the real source of this. People actually... Well, I would like to believe that people would not want to make such a dangerous crossing. Get rid of the people traffickers. I know some people do.
Of course.
But we need to stop the people traffickers from letting people get in those boats in the first place.
Absolutely agree. They can stop people getting into Glastonbury at the weekend. They were able to do that successfully. And yet we can't somehow, with all the technology we've got, we can send equipment down under the sea to look into caves, into all sorts of areas.
You have to have the bill to do this.
What, the police?
But the bill's not a deterrent,
No,
though.
but the illegal migration bill will allow you to say, if you come here on a small boat, you will be deported immediately, plus Rwanda, plus everything else. I'll tell you what, suddenly there's no business case.
Well, the Rwanda scheme's not working now because it doesn't exist. So I don't care if it did cost £169,000 per person, which I don't think it will. I don't care. Spend it. Because if they get the idea that they might end up in East Africa, that's the idea. It's called a deterrent.